Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Appalachia Prospecting. Today we're going to be looking at the Cobra Crusher. This is for gold ore. Now if anybody's been watching my videos, you know I'm up to something. I've got a couple little ore areas I'm going to be cribbing up, and that's why I bought the saw. Oh yeah, and the second reason why I bought the saw, we came up with a pretty cool little idea. I've been talking to a few people about it, and I think it's going to work. Anyways, where I live over in East Poultney, Vermont, which is, I'm really right near the Middletown border. And right near me, there is a bike path called Slate Valley Trails. And it's less than about 100 yards from my property. So access is the highway onto the trails, and then you've got a network to go golfing, whatever you want to do. So I had this idea, you know, I've been digging gold for 30 plus years in this state. And, you know, I've gotten to the point where, you know, I'm not seeing a lot of new blood come in. So we're going to offer a mining camp for a weekend if people would like to come. Well, they could do that. They could fish the Poultney River. I could put them on the gold into the Poultney River. You can bike. Poultney's got a little bit of entertainment downtown. So, I mean, we're going to give it a whirl and see what happens. But in the meantime, we're also going to build an A-frame cabin for if somebody wants to spend the weekend. Now, the other thing is, too, is I also have an RV hookup. So if somebody wanted to bring their own little camper for the weekend, they more than welcome to, because they'll have a hookup. What we'll have is we'll have pay dirt set up. So you can run it through a sluice. You can kind of do some inland dredging. You can run a little mini excavator. I have little tiny dump trucks that you basically, well, you'll see it. That'll be another video. So it's pretty exciting. But along the way, we're going to build an A-frame cabin, and I want you guys to come along and watch me build it. I'm not an ace builder. I'm putting together this cabin because, you know, it's kind of like a rough mining cabin that you would come and stay in while we were doing this. We also have a swimming pool, and it'll be a lot of fun. When do I think it'll be up and running? Well, maybe toward midsummer, maybe. But first, we got to build a cabin. And what's really hindering me is how cold that this winter's been compared to other winters in the past. So we got a couple other things to talk about before we move on, but I want to talk about this Cobra Crusher. It's really, I almost said King Cobra Crusher. It's a really nice little crusher. My daughter bought this for me for, I don't know, Father's Day, she just unbelievably spoils me. And we were talking about doing some ore, and I do have a machine out there, which I'll show you somewhere along the line, that I built, and it works perfect. But my daughter felt that I should have one. So basically what this system is a couple of videos ago, I did a video where I showed a jaw crusher that crushed the ore like this. It just crushed like this, like a V, okay? This one is a hammer, okay? So what this is going to do is spin in here, and these hammer locks right here, you can kind of see them, they're going to slam the rest of that little pulverized rock that comes out of the jaw crushers. Because the jaw crusher does give you a little powder, but it doesn't beat them down. It's usually like in the little fine sections, you know. So, loaded in here. This is set up for a right angle grinder. So an electric grinder, like you would use to grind off metal. That inserts into this plug right here, locks in. Put the little adapter on, tighten it down where the little handle is, and it sits right on there. Perfect RPM. The switch is hooked right to it. It sits like this, so it doesn't rock around on you. You go full throttle, and it makes a lot of noise. You're going to get silica dust. Make sure you wear a dust mask. Put a cap on this. I did not get one, but I probably will. I'll make a little flat crusher on there, but they did put a gasket on here, which I thought was kind of cool. There's a little rubber gasket over here. So these hammers fly around inside of here and just pulverize the rock that's you deposit in here. What I found with these, go slow with your feed and it'll pulverize it right into fine powder. And what's amazing is how well that this will crush it up into a complete powder. It's crazy. And then you can put that powder on that little gold buddy, the recovery, the fine gold recovery. And I'll tell you why. I kind of took a liking into it. Cleanup Buddy Sluice, I do believe is what it's called. It's got the Dream Mat in it. That's in like 2 videos ago. I really like, oh, forgot my instructions. I really like, what I liked about that was you can slow the water volume down in the back because he's got kind of like a fish tank pump on there with a dial. And depending on the material you play with, you can really get that sizzling for bigger stuff. And I'm telling you, I was really impressed about the catch rate. It really did a wonderful job. I have used this. I'm going to give this an A+. This is a really, really nice piece of equipment if you want to play with some ore. I have a couple prospects this year. I also have an area that I got to play with here in the Taconics that has been proven to have gold in it. And Jeff Slade and I are going to do a prospect, and we're going to look for some goodies possibly out of the mining district. And everybody that knows, they know where it is. So, good piece of equipment. So let's get back to a couple of things with the club. We were talking about putting a club together and getting a petition together to go to the state and try to get our sluice permits back. Well, guys, I ran right into a wall, and the wall is called the A&R. A few years ago, one of the gold mining colleagues, Nelson, went to the governor and gave him an economic review and actually took some time to do all this. And Governor Scott did get back to him, and he said that the A&R basically said it was too destructive. Now, I know everybody's going to go, oh. You can get online and find out who these people are in the A&R. And I was grateful that one of them did get a hold of me. Okay, so this was the words that came out of his mouth. It's too destructive. They have photos of rocks being moved throughout the river course. Big rocks, not little tiny rocks. They were moved. Undermining the bridge at Hale Hollow, which is called the Crooked Bridge. Most of you know that. The frog hole has been widened and deepened. Now these are pictures and affidavits that he's telling me about without even getting too technical. They also have photos of people trespassing. I guess that was dealt with. I have no idea. There's 3 different people that are basically the river police up there, and anybody that goes up there a lot will know who they are. There's also another landowner that owns a lot of the land up there in the old mining district, and she actually sent pictures to the A&R too. So, on a board of 7 Democrats and 3 Republicans, and 5 of these that I started looking into these people, and you can go look this up. I'm not naming any names because there's no reason to. We've came to an end. The reason why is there's 5 of them, I do believe, on the board that are Act 250 activists. So if you know anything about this stuff, you'll say, okay. So there's no more sense of moving on with trying to stir up a hornet's nest, because basically all it's going to do is just stir up a hornet's nest, and everybody's just going to get discombobulated and ugly about it. So there's no sense at all to keep going in with that. So I'm going to send that to, if anybody else wants to step up and head for the border, go right ahead, because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to come to the same exact block that I did. The A&R is the one that calls the ball, and you will never get anything done that when they have pictures of destruction and holes, and I've seen the holes up at Gaysville, little child in there. I mean, come on, guys. You know, is it really worth it? You know, your $30 in gold if you're really that good for the day, or $100 in gold now, well, whatever. But, you know, fill in your holes, kind of look around, clean up behind yourself, because I'm going to tell you right now, for kind of a small community, we have a bad name. And that's it. We have a bad name. And there's no way, unless all these people somehow step down and say, no, I don't want to deal with this anymore, which you know is not going to happen. Some of these people have been in there since the late 80s. So, done with that. The club, as far as the club goes, if people are still interested in the club, I want you to either comment below or private message me if you have any interest in the club, because I'm not going to set this all up and do this big crazy ball of wax when, you know, 2 people want to be involved. I would like to start with at least 10 of us. If we could get 10 people to join, that would give us about $225 if I charge $25 a head. And that would be able to get us possibly a midsummer to early fall rendezvous. We would probably do it at Camp Plymouth or Camp Coolidge. And we'll just go from there. So I'm going to need input from you guys, and a lot of you that are watching this are part of the Northern Appalachia Prospecting on Facebook page. Get on there. You can get right a hold of me there, because obviously I own the page and I'm the admin. So if we can get that going, it'd be fun to have our own little outing here in Vermont, have our own little club put together. And, you know, if you've got friends that are interested and they want to come in, this is what this is for. You know, come in, check it out. If you don't like it, well, hit the road, right? It is what it is. So that's how you're going to do it. I have a phone number. Most of you know it that know me. Or you can get right a hold of me on Facebook Messenger. So if you're not interested, don't reply. Don't bother. So we have now until April 12th to make that decision whether or not we're going to move on, or if I get enough people to ask me whether or not we're going to do it. So last but not least, we're going to build the A-frame, which is kind of fun. The Airbnb name is going to be Vermont Adventures in Prospecting. I send these out to have these hats done, and they forgot to embroider the green Vermont across here. I was like, really? But whatever. So they really gave me a great discount on these hats. So I have these hats available. They've got a little side. Okay. We're setting up a channel for this, but that'll be down the road. So these caps, I have these caps. This will be pretty cool. So basically, the ranch that I live at, the property we have a little ranch here. So it's going to be called the Lost Mine Ranch. So it'd be the Adventures in Prospecting at Lost Mine Ranch, which would be kind of fun. I have trommels. I have everything that it takes to have a good weekend, believe me. It'll be pay dirt. You'll be able to find gold, take your gold home. Like I said, we don't have just that. You can go biking for the weekend. You can hang out for the weekend. We can get together and go prospecting if you want to just hang. It'd be great. So we're looking forward to that. We just need some darn good weather to get outside and start sawing. I do have basically the box for the floor sawed out, so that's kind of neat. And I had to take 2 days off because I had to build a lumber clamp. Now that's going to be in the next video down the road on the lumber clamp that I did for this saw. It's just something I found on the internet, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do that. Oh, and it makes such a difference in the world. So that'll be kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's going to be a release of the introduction to the Bigfoot story. That should be released by Friday. That's pretty exciting. Like I said, I've been doing this kind of like for 14 years, getting things together and kind of like, wow, you know, listening to people's stories and some of the good stories that I have on telephone and I just had an interview that blew my mind. Her pictures were just whoa. So, you know, you hear a lot of stuff about over in Whitehall, but you never really hear shit over here in Vermont where there's a lot of activity, and there's just a lot of people that don't talk about it because we're, people get called liars and whatever. The way that I look at skeptics is they're the ones that sit on the couch and tell you that it's not true. Go spend some time out there where there's one that's known to be around and you tell me. So we're going to sign off for now. Thank you, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Please do that. Let's build up my channel a little bit. And I hope everybody enjoys the Bigfoot stories. I hope everybody's going to enjoy the A-frame build. And in the meantime, when we get out prospecting, when the weather changes a little bit, I'll do some on the river videos. And I'm going to be doing a video with Jeffrey Slade. We're going to be out looking at some ore in a couple of different places. And we may even bring it back, crush it, and get all that in one video. That would be cool. So for today, Northern Appalachian Prospectors, out. Thank you.